Hello and welcome to Washington State University Everett. This is the live stream for WSU and LG. Today we're going to be doing a live demo of some of our classrooms in the WSU Everett campus. We're going to visit some of our vendors outside in our lobby here and demo some of their equipment for you guys. WSU Everett opened in 2017, at least this building did. The entire structure is designed around Zoom rooms and Zoom capabilities. So every classroom is capable to broadcast in and out of the building. We've had instructors that teach from Sweden to our students before. So bringing all the professors of Washington State University system into our campus here for the students that we have. The Zoom room that we're in right now is our tiered lecture hall. This room is capable of housing 200 students in it at any time. You'll notice I have no mic on me. The microphone is sitting over here. This is because we have a hands-free system up in the ceiling. These are a pair of Sennheiser Team Connects, and that gives the freedom of our instructors to wander around the room and do their presentations without any kind of restrictions of, accidentally disconnecting the mic, running out of batteries, or any other various things that can happen when you've got multiple microphones in a space. With that, let's go ahead and jump over to our vendor show. They're just outside, so we'll swap to a mobile camera.
These are from the TikTok shop.
All right, welcome to our vendor show. These are some of our lovely vendors here.
Morning. You didn't tell me. I wasn't prepared. Hi.
So vendor shows go. We're going to start off with Logitech here because they're right outside the door.
Fantastic. Well, no, because we're the best, right?
Yeah. They're the best.
We're the best. So Logitech is here in the house at Washington State University, Everett campus. Very happy to be here. Thanks, guys, for hosting us and putting this on. So Logitech solutions are hard to describe in a 5-minute elevator pitch, but I'm going to try my best. Here's what I love about working with Logitech, specifically in higher ed. What we have, we are a Swiss-based company. Not a lot of people know that. Are Swiss-based, and I like to say that we are true to form Swiss. We are the most neutral company I've ever worked with. In fact, that we work with all of our platform partners really well, Zoom, Google, Teams, very, very, very closely. We work with any peripherals that you want to do. We can attach our hybrid and high flex learning solutions in any mode that you are working in. So if you're a college campus, I know that everybody refreshes everything every year and you get all new gear, right? No, right? So what we've tried to do is make solutions that are going to meet you where you're at and augment what you have today and then build forward to the future in a very sustainable fashion, right? So we can kind of work with you with what you're trying to accomplish for your learning needs today and then get you to where you need to be 5 years from now. Right. So in that, we have a whole host of solutions. We have a couple highlights I'd like to talk about real quick. We are just releasing our Rally Cam Streamline Kit. And for higher education, I think this is going to be a big hit. It is a PoE PTZ camera. And the cool thing about it is not just the cabling and the ease of installation. It is a 4K camera. It's our Rally camera, which has been very, very popular for years. But it is also gives you the ability to have user-defined preset zones that can be operated by your instructor. So that's going to be pretty powerful and a very cost-effective package on that. So we are highlighting that. And then we also have a new product we just launched called our Rally Board, which is an all-in-one solution. It's a 65-inch display, touch display, but it also has your Android OS built on-prem and our OS on board so that you can launch anything right from there if you're trying to do a video conference right from the meeting, but lots of goodies about that. Can't talk about in a 4-minute pitch, but it's amazing. So just reach out if there's any questions I can answer for you.
So good. We'll have Logitech's info pinned in our description for the video as soon as we're done with the live stream.
Oh, and I can't forget to talk about our fabulous keyboards from Nice. So, but everybody knows that because we've been doing it for 42 years. So don't forget, I can help you with that as well. Personal workspace solutions.
All right, we'll jump to our next vendor here.
Thank you.
I might need some help with the pronunciation. Looks like Symetrix. You have a bit about your solutions you've got for us here.
Yeah. Sure. Let's talk about it. Still kind of setting up and you're
Designated audio companies.
okay. So Symetrix, I mean, we were born in the studio in 1976. So we really care about studio grade audio, but we're not just audio these days. We are the full solution for any kind of ecosystem. And to that end, what we have here is our D100. The D100 is a high channel count Dante device. It's meant for enterprise types of installations, higher education, and the applications such as this. So what this is really useful for is scalability. So in a higher education kind of situation like we are here, we can go ahead and generally before you'd have a DSP and several Dante endpoints along with control on the control network. And in order to scale that, you would add DSPs and complexity to your system. Whereas with the D100, because of its high channel count and its Dante capabilities, instead of this, you just add endpoints to each classroom. So each classroom can be scaled from 1 to 10 to up to 100, if not more, depending on what you have in your system. So it's really a powerful device. It's extremely powerful off-the-shelf HP server technology that we build all the software and the firmware for. Of course, we also take audio very, very, very seriously, other than just control. So these are our two newest devices in the 96K realm, our XLR series, our XIO XLR series, and our XIO USB-C device. The USB-C device is useful for adding any audio from a computer in any room. So if you have a classroom, you need to plug your computer in and get audio from your computer to the network. You just attach it underneath the desk, plug it in, and you're good to go. And then we have our XLR series. Our XLR series, because I said we are from the studio, we took audio seriously. We took our premium grade studio quality preamps and shrank them down to an endpoint, a Dante endpoint. This is PoE powered, highest quality that we can get from Symetrix, and it's also 96K capable. The other good thing about this is that we made these things to last. So we consider ourselves a craft manufacturer. So these are made from die cast zinc, as well as all of the surfaces on here. So these are very, very tough. And you have programmable LEDs. And I didn't get a chance to program this yet, so apologies, but this is the default. You press the button and you can get what we call a night light. That's good for like low light requirements. But you can program the LEDs and this button separately for however you want. And you can actually use them with a QSIS system as well. We have plugins for all of our XIO devices for use in a QSIS. But that's really what we're presenting today, is we're just trying to cement the idea that we take care of the entire infrastructure, the entire ecosystem. We do control. We can control third-party devices. We can control certain things from Logitech, as long as we have an open API and we can create scripting via Lua to control just about everything on the network.
Very cool. Well, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Your information on our description for the video as soon as we finish, and we'll stop by later as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
What's this Peerless AD?
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, and you're Marshall Everett. So Peerless AV is the oldest mount company in the United States. So back in 1965, we created the first mount for a hospital. So they came to us and said, we want to put that TV up on the wall. So as the AV world has grown and changed, so have we evolved and changed. So along with displays to see now with DVLED solutions for all of that. So we really work with a lot of the partners, especially LG, when the client has an idea like, I want to make this DVLED wall, or I put a TV, a projector somewhere. we're the ones that partner with them to say, this is how we can put it where you need it to go. So this video is actually showing you some of our products along with our standard products, DVLED. We make kiosks to put displays in and projector mounts. So basically anything for any of our partners where you need to put a display or a projector or something, we are the solution behind it.
Cool. I have a Fearless AV TV that's behind us here. We can swing by that as we're walking through. That also out for everyone.
Oh, great. Is it one of the outdoor ones?
It's one of the indoor monoliths. We actually it's a TV just over there. We use it. It's a touchscreen, so our students can look at what all the classes are at any given day, and then tap in to figure out which room that they're going to be at.
Awesome. Yeah. So one of our solutions that we have also is we partner with LG for the glass and we make outdoor displays. So a lot of college campuses are starting to get into our outdoor solution for it. So it's called the Smart City Kiosk. And we partner with TSI Touch for the overlay. So that way you could use it for wayfinding outdoors as well. Yeah.
We need something pretty heavy duty for the rain we've got today.
Yeah, I have some pictures. I'll show you when you're done with this. I have some pictures I can show you of some college campuses, UC San Diego, ASU, Phoenix. They've started.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for being here, and I'll certainly stop by later and talk some more.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Right.
And we have one that's also one.
The LG window here, they were kind enough to bring in this gigantic TV.
It's on the stand that's optional. They come with
So
titles.
you can grab Jessica's because she's free. See more info on this.
It lasts at a half-life for 100,000 hours. So you're gonna get a lot of longevity out of it. And it's also serviceable. So when a tile, something happens, it doesn't take my class down. The projector, you know, the entire class down. So Zach can show you two more. But we specifically brought this because these guys are thinking of replacing the roofs of it through. And see how architects like to do, you know, high ceilings, lots of windows. It's really hard to get a nice image. This is the way to do that. So the individual tile just pops out.
Hot swappable is how we build it. We turn it on, you get the immediate feedback that the tiles are functioning. And so we can.
And you ship spare tiles with it, so they
We
come
do.
in the same lot.
Yep.
Right, from factory, we can kind of designate how many, what the spare percentage we want it to be. Typically it's between 3% and 5%, but we can always add a little bit more. As for this side of the wall, 5% spares gives you about 8 tiles for replacement. Of course, we have a pixel doctor as well, what we call them. So if we have some dead pixels and you don't want to use the spare, we can populate the spare into the wall and send that tile that's damaged to LG or have somebody come on site. If we send it, that would go to Alabama. They replace those LEDs, return it to you, so you can put that spare back into your repository and then populate your original file and check it out.
And then we, you know, we have a whole line of direct LED that can be all customizable too. So we just did a lobby at Texas A&M in their business school. This basically a rack, a pillar, a huge wall. Any of those applications where you used to have the TVs that were side by side, you know, the old video wall. You could rip those out and replace them with an all-in-one. So it's the newest technology. It's here to stay and really actually a great value when you look at the cost of a really big projector based on the longevity. Yes.
And your processor for this is built into the frame, or is it a separate? Well,
This particular one in the all-in-one is built in.
Yeah, it's built into the cabinet on the back. It has a media player that has a WebOS to enable functionality. So that software means you can send signage to it. You can populate different videos, 4K videos, depending on size, obviously. But this will store content that you can loop through via the content management on the web portal or through the controller that's obviously provided with the all-in-one.
so like if it weren't in use for a course, it could be doing digital signage.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the WebOS player allows for it to do. It's essentially a signage display. And so that software, if you are using Carousel, maybe if you're using the WebOS from LG, you can populate this board with whatever signage you want from your web-based portal. And that can be uploaded from any locations, not have to be on the same network or anything like that.
And the controller, Scott, it's a 2-input controller, so you can actually do picture in picture or side by side. It's 2 HDMI, which you might play.
You know, with software, this can be broken in 4 quadrants, so technically you can have 4 separate images being displayed at once.
And does it do any internal switching, or like if I were to be able to do a system where I could get rid of an extra switcher or?
It does.
That.
It does, it has a little bit of some limitation compared to an off-board, third-party switcher, but it will be able to do that. Sure.
How much does it weigh?
I think it's close to about 300, 400 pounds. Maybe closer to 450, actually.
But the bracket that you guys sell it with is purpose built for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It comes with a wall mount. It is built specifically for this device. This cart stand that we have mounted on it now is a separate cost, but obviously does do a good job. And if since it's on casters, we technically can roll this around just about wherever we want.
We actually have a better cart that's, it auto adjusts. You can, raise it up and down, and it's great for a big multi-purpose space like this where you used to have to wheel out a projector in a cart. It's a great replacement for that, or even outdoors. I mean, the cart can raise up and down, and if the lights don't come out.
Yeah.
How tolerant are the electronics as far as like bouncing across the concrete? Like if I was taking a building to building, for example.
It would be fine. It's all solid state.
Okay.
There's no moving parts within the wall itself. The cabinets are connected with cam locks and with screws, and all these tiles are solid states. There's nothing
Gonna be popping out as I go.
No.
across the sidewalk.
I mean, it would take a pretty significant hit for you to pop out a tile. I mean, the magnet on this tool is quite strong. So I wouldn't imagine that that's gonna pop out of it.
So we're doing one of these in a locker room right now. It's a new construction project at New Mexico State University. And we're putting, not this exact wall, not an exact wall, but a similar wall in their locker room. And
Yeah.
then there's a product called the Defender that actually goes over the front of it. That still lets it be front serviceable, that protects any of the pixels from a really rough environment, like a locker room or backpacks or something like that going through it. So there's a third-party product that
These LEDs also have coating from the factory too that are resistant to a little bit of moisture, finger oils, very slight damage. So it does have a little bit of protection from factory, but that Defender is a fantastic product for people being really rough with hitting with basketballs, footballs, whatever it is, that will completely alleviate damage to the board itself. It's really nice.
As you guys are setting it up, I had a question about power delivery for the device. Is there any specialized power that you guys need for it, or is it just a standard wall outlet?
Standard wall outlet, standard 120. We've got both power cables plugged into one strip that's coming from the kiosk back here, and it powers it perfectly.
Do you know what kind of amperage it draws?
I think it's about 10.
10 amps? Okay, so you definitely want a dedicated circuit for it.
You do want a dedicated circuit for it, especially if it's going to be for a long-term install. But it's taken less than it used to. We used to have to be running 2 separate circuits,
Yeah.
and now it can run on more.
Of course, if you're deprecating a projector, you can just repurpose the dedicated projector circuit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it runs flawlessly on just that. Like I said previously, with the 2 cables, they had to be on separate circuits, or it would pop it every time. So LG has made some good strides in making it a little bit more user-friendly in that way.
So how are you seeing it being used? Or is it mainly being used as kind of display? Or-
Typically, there are many use spaces for a wall like this, mini boarding, scoreboarding, can be used as a multi-purpose display. Jessica was alluded to as a movie display, but really it's good for signage. That's how I typically see this, or showing 4K video for students' projects, things along those lines. Think of it as just a very large content delivery system.
we're doing 98 of them just going into a college in a new building
Okay.
in lieu of projection. Because if you think of the life, I mean, these are rated at 100,000 hours of use at half-life. So you're gonna get a lot of longevity out of it. You're not gonna have to replace bulbs or clean filters or get into the ceiling. And then the best part again is if if something happens during class and a tile goes bad, the class still can be going. Whereas with a projector, it takes the whole room down. So we're just seeing it as a direct replacement for projection in larger spaces. But direct view LED, I mean, we're doing really cool stuff in colleges. We're working with a business school at a college that's doing a curved wall. We just finished one in a mission critical room where they're throwing up 9 different images and they're doing all sorts of, data comparisons on the wall. And our friends at Peerless built a really cool floor mounted curved mount for it. So the possibilities are endless for DVLED, and it's totally customizable. We can do curved, we can do pillars, we can do ceiling. There's, gaining in popularity, really, if you have a vision, we can make it work. Yeah.
How about breaking it up into sections? So for instance, I teach a class down to Vancouver and Tri-Cities simulcast.
Yeah.
By video conference. Can I have my students in those other classrooms along with the content all in one space?
Yes.
Oh, that's huge.
Yep. And you can actually connect, multiple directly if you wanted to connect multiple sources to this display, a couple different PCs, you could do that too and compare them side by side. So it acts just like Zoom would on a normal projector where you see the card.
Yeah, we project via Zoom, but if I've got the content is behind me and the students are on a different monitor and the camera's over there, every time I turn this, the student's asking a question, well, now all of a sudden I've got my
Yeah.
to the student on the remote campus.
Right.
And using that SuperSign software, you're able to kind of partition a portion of this
Yeah.
wall to look like the Zoom column where you can see all the kids or whoever you're speaking with. So you can do that with that software. It's a pretty simple change.
And then the other really powerful application that we're seeing in higher ed, the trend, especially in larger rooms, wider rooms like this 101, 102, where they're wider, larger lecture halls, people are installing a direct view LED as their main screen. And then on the side, they're putting a touch interactive board. And a lot of people have kind of shied away from touch interactive boards in higher education because you have so much traffic coming in and out of rooms and you don't want to necessarily teach each instructor how to use the software. But for basic annotation capabilities, the cool thing is you can tether this display to the big display. So I can be writing on this and oops, sorry. There we go. I can be writing on this and it can be showing on the main screen. And our Createboards, they come in 55 inches up to 98 inches. And what I like to tell colleges is they're really only about $1,000 more than a regular flat panel. So if you're putting a regular flat panel in a classroom, you might as well do touch, in my professional opinion, because it's definitely gaining popularity and giving instructors that do want to use it the ability to use it when they use it. So powerful together.
I would add the long-term functionality of a board like that versus a television is these can be upgraded as far as the software and the firmware go. The actual strength of the board itself is going to stand the test of time. If we were to smash that screen, punch that screen, there's not going to be any damage to it. It's a dual pane tempered glass. So it's a good display for longevity. We can go up to a 7-year warranty on that product as well.
You get 5. Higher ed gets 5-year warranties on Createboards out of the box, which is unheard of. So again, for the little bit of cost difference. And then I'm really excited in May, June of this year, we're actually releasing a board that doesn't have any Android on it specifically for higher ed. That's just touch with a pen. So you don't have any Android operating system. You're able to just pick up a pen and annotate, and it doesn't have this front panel controls. LG is really big on voice of the customer. And we've had lots of clients in higher ed say, hey, we don't love these connections on the front of the board in our classrooms. People try to charge their phones or put stuff in them. So can you take them off? And we did. And so this new version is going to be shipping in May, June. Watch out for it. It's going to be a killer price point just for a basic touch interactive board without all the bells and whistles like the LG Createboard has now.
And we'll still have with that board, the ability to put a slot-in PC into it. So if you wanted a Chrome device or a Windows device, we can put that in and force it to be a Windows interactive or a Google interactive. But we can still cast to it, like Jessica was alluding to, with the endpoint devices from the educators or the admins, whoever that might be.
And then the other products that we're just going to play Imagine This, the game called Imagine This, that didn't make it today just because of logistics. Two of my favorite products for higher education. We have a 55-inch and 75-inch outdoor rated digital signage display that comes in its own enclosure, already rated for outdoor signage. So you just need power and a Wi-Fi connection and some sort of player, very reasonably priced. And again, it's just one SKU for the whole solutions.
What's ours?
55 and 75 out of the box.
Is that dedicated portrait or can you portrait landscape it?
It is just,
You could do both. There's a couple different SKUs. One is dedicated portrait only.
yeah.
And then two other SKUs are portrait or landscape.
Oh, okay, good. In Vancouver, we're all landscape on our digital signage and it's,
That would be fine. The 49-inch wouldn't be for you, but the larger sizes would be
Yeah.
able to do both.
Now, audio, that this is expected just to plug in the existing audio system or?
There's speakers built into this. I just have them all muted,
Okay.
but there's line out and optical out. So you can do 3.5 connection if the speaker systems is maybe a little bit older, or we can do optical as well to a sound bar or to a ceiling mounted speaker system. Absolutely.
And then on the Createboard, so we also just launched the Createboard Pro. So it's a touch interactive board. It's perfect for boardrooms, conference rooms, small classrooms. It has a built-in microphone that will actually pick up a room up 8 to 10 feet, speakers 8 to 10 feet away, built-in speakers, 15-watt speakers. And at the top, there's actually a USB input for a camera. So all you need is data and power and a camera from our friends at Logitech, and you have a Zoom room literally in a box, out of a box, and that's the Createboard Pro. And so we kind of have a good, better, best in the Createboard series, but again, a great value, 5-year warranty, and you get all of us friendly LG people.
There you go.
but let me ask a hard question.
Okay.
Being as this is like a factor of 10, it's more expensive than a projection system. What justifications have we made to universities or helped universities run up to justify the 10-fold cost differential?
Certainly the longevity, the serviceability, just the brightness. It's a lot brighter, clearer, cleaner,
Yeah.
usually higher resolution in some cases than most of the projectors at that price point.
You don't get glare for video conferencing meetings.
Yeah, you don't get glare,
Sure.
you don't get glare off the windows.
In the board itself, there's not going to be a situation where you need to recalibrate. Like you might have to do with the projector if it's too close to the AC system, something bumps it. I mean, who knows what it could be. With this type of display, there is no need to send one of the guys down there to recalibrate to get it back working. It's just going to function as is in the location too. So that on-site service, as far as an admin goes, is much easier too.
Yeah.
No
No
replacing
lens.
filters, exactly, no lens.
No lens
replacing.
specs.
No lumen degradation because it's been there for a while. The nits on this are going to maintain.
And you can run, because of the cool software too, you can run signage. Not every projector allows you to do that either.
Mhm.
You can run signage, and because of the controller that's built in, do split screen or multi-screen, which you can't always do with projectors. So it's really application dependent, but it's definitely, once you see it, you
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, even outside of that, one fall from a ladder fixing a projector
Oh,
is
man.
gonna more than pay for what the differential is.
Yeah, well, and it's tricky. A lot of the, I mean, you guys know when you're trying to service a projector, especially in those auditoriums, you have to sometimes get a lift. I mean, if you look at the overall cost for a 5 to 10 year replacement cycle and how many times you've had to touch that projector, it definitely makes up for it. Any other questions before we move over to Kristen at Logitech?
Do you have the speaker hooked up? I mean,
I do.
can we hear?
Sure.
Do you have a question?
Great video, by the way.
So we price everything for resellers. So this 136 is gonna be like 30-ish. And the 163 is gonna be 45-50-ish in that range.
It's a great piece for donors. So if you're ever looking for, a donor really likes to see something big and splashy, and this is.
We'll expect to hear it. Let's hear some of your favorite food traditions. Take it away, Talia. Yeah, let's do a little bit.
Before choosing Washington State University, I knew I wanted to attend a school with the ultimate college game day experience. I was so excited not only to receive my acceptance into the school.
So the audio fidelity is not fantastic, but that's, we're not a speaker company necessarily. That's something that we can get you by to change audio for yourself, or if you have maybe in a pinch something happen, we could still display audio from the device itself at 50% volume. I'd say it's very.
But you wouldn't necessarily buy a $40,000 display and not buy an audio system to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that part's usually already integrated or will be put into a new building, but we're seeing a lot of these like in capital projects just coming up in new construction, looking at the space going, hey.
It's easy to justify when it's in a construction budget.
Right, when it's actually United at the state.
Yeah.
And I always tell colleges, because they don't always know this, but you can lease AV stuff. Colleges lease everything. They lease vans, they lease copiers, they lease, all sorts of capital equipment. You can lease AV equipment and projects. And usually your fiscal folks love that because it's just a set monthly payment and you can do it for 3 years or 5 years, just like you would a vehicle or the college van. So something to remember when you look at a price point, you go, I can't swing that right now. There's a bank that will that will lease it to you for a low monthly payment. I think we're good here. Did you already talk to our friends at Logitech and Peerless?
Over on the live stream, we've talked to all the vendors except for LG, and we just happened to catch you while you were doing a Q&A.
Oh, good.
So I think we were going to walk over and look at our Peerless AV tower over there, and then take a quick break and meet up in our campfire rooms for the live stream. So
Cool.
we'll head that way.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Last up with the vendor stuff is we actually have Peerless AV digital sign here that our students use. This lists all of our classes that we've got on campus today. And if any students looking for their mechanical engineering class, they can see it's in large classroom 257. And it's Dr. B is teaching that one today. So if any of our students are looking for something, they can track down where their classes are at. All right, it looks like our live stream has swapped over to the Everett 255 classroom. This is our campfire classroom, is what we call it. Originally, this was run by a Polycom Centrino camera system that had a whole bunch of screens and this really neat 360 camera system. Unfortunately, a lightning storm decided that that was not going to work anymore for us. So we had to kind of rethink how we were going to do the room and migrate it from a Polycom solution that is no longer available to a Zoom solution that still keeps that 360-degree video capability. So we ended up landing on this solution we've got now, which is a Nexago Meet 360 camera. And up in the ceiling, we've got another Sennheiser Team Connect microphone that is listening in on us. This room does have a touchscreen at the front of it, so instructors can come up and they can whiteboard on the screen. I won't do that now because it's in the middle of our live stream, so I don't want to poke anything. But that's something that we added for our instructors to use. All of the seats in this room can roll around. And quite a few students and faculty members use this space to do small groups over in the corner, and then they gather back into the middle to do some in-depth discussion about what they're working on. We've got rolling whiteboards in here as well. So if someone does need a whiteboard that's not the TV in the middle of the room, they can roll those around to their small groups and write out their math equations they're working on or flow charts or whatever their project is tasked with. That is pretty much everything for this room. I know there's a copy of this room in Vancouver and Pullman that are still using the Polycom equipment. So we'll see if we can put our heads together with them and come up with more Zoom solutions that add that 360-degree camera. The camera itself will auto track whoever is speaking. So as I wander outside of its range here, it's going to try and look around the room at whoever's speaking. It has two 4K lenses on it, but it only outputs a 1080p stream to Zoom, which is one of the only limitations we have with it. And that's due to the USB connection that we're able to get from the camera back to the Zoom room controller at the end of the room. And with that, I think Brian and I are going to go show off one last cybersecurity demo that we've got, and then we'll call it into the stream. So we'll put this on pause for a minute while Brian and I make our way upstairs.
Okay, so this is our Grim Cyber Town. This is a simulator for operational technology / ICS. If you think about critical infrastructure, you can think about gas pipelines like the Colonial Pipeline, water, wastewater, hospitals, etc. On ours, it's split into 4 sections. So you got like downtown, residential, military, and transportation. You have like the transportation train track running around. The train actually moves. For power, you have windmills that will go. You have your nuclear smokestacks that can actually put out smoke.
They do unfortunately output real smoke, and that will set off our smoke sensor. So we're not going to turn those on today, but I can have Brian poke the button and get our windmills rolling.
And then the most interesting, they got 4 Tesla coils in each section. So if, say, a student success was successful, the Tesla coil will actually go off.
Oh, got wind power going.
It has 2 different lighting. You can see perhaps like white, you're safe, not under attack. If they were successful, they could turn it red, showing they were successful in getting into the system. And I don't know how loud this will get, but we can light off one of the Tesla coils.
So that way, whenever our students attack the city, they get that instant feedback that, hey, one of our Tesla coils has been breached. The lights start blinking, and they know, the people in room know that something bad's gone on, and you can hear that across the hallway in our cybersecurity, software engineering, computer lab, that yes, we did successfully trip that breaker for that Tesla coils. This room is networked up with the other campuses. So Tri-Cities and Pullman both have a completely isolated cybersecurity network that this city lives on. And we're working with our professors, Dr. Liu, and the other Boyland engineering and cybersecurity professors to get our students attacking the city from across the state of Washington. We already have a couple servers in here that Dr. Liu has been doing some rowhammer attacks on. And as soon as you flip a bit in them, it's going to trip, any of these ICS controllers. They're just an on-off command. So if you manage to flip a bit, something is going to turn off. It's just trying to figure out which bit that you're trying to aim for. And that brings us to the end of Cybertown. And at the end of the live stream, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have any suggestions for mic equipment, please feel free to let me know. I know I borrowed this Rode mic from our students, and it's not the greatest in the world, but I'll have to reach out to our guys in Tri-Cities in Vancouver and see what they're using, because I'm just an IT guy.